Hello everyone, and today we're delving into the world of Puzzle Rush and we're going from 0 to 50. So all the way from absolute beginner puzzles to some master level puzzles you're going to get here. The way it works is every level you go up, the harder it gets, just like any game. This is Puzzle Rush and you're going to see my thought process when we go through this. I may get some wrong, I may get them all right, but hopefully you guys learn how to actually think like a high level player and solve these puzzles correctly. Okay, let's go. Number 1, let's go. So for similar concepts, I'll only explain them twice really at the same time. Here, every time we look for checks, captures, threats. Here, what we see is, okay, the rook is hanging. If I take the rook will recapture, and I can capture the rook, and I'll simply be up a rook. So this is simply the win here. Now, for the next one, this is quite simple. The queen hits the king, but we can take the queen, so we should take the queen. Now, this one is a bit different. Wow, this one is really hard for like a... This is like, if you guys don't know, this is abnormally difficult for number 2. But I think the move is rook to h2. I mean, it's not going to be king g5 because they give a check. And yeah, I think it's rook here. If they take our queen, I think then it's king g4. And somehow that's checkmate. Wow. Wait a second. Yeah, rook g2, queen f1, this is mate. Yeah, I think it's rook h2. We take... That's a little hard for that one. Now this is simple back rank. So I'll explain this once or twice, and then after this I'll play out all the back ranks. How it works is if the king is suffocated by the pawns, you can give a check on the back rank and attack the king. Now the rooks can block, but they can't block on the same square, so we'll just take them all. So this is simply mate. Now this is the same thing. Back rank, bishop can block, we can take it. Rook can block, we can take it. Now, this one, it's the same thing, so I won't go through it. Okay, this one's slightly different. Here we have to look for checks, captures, threats. We look at the positioning of the king. The king is on a vulnerable square where it can be attacked. The rook is attacking this entire rank. Can we put the queen somewhere that it attacks the king? Yes, we can. We can put on g2, and it would be checkmate. Now we can play queen h2. Similarly, the bishop hits, and you guys can solve this on your own. You can pause the video straight away if you're trying to solve this. And both pieces team up on the h2 pawn. The king will be attacked. The king has no escape, so it's mate. Now, this is very similar, so pause the video if you need to solve it. And this is simply mate in 2. We see checks. The best check is to take on h2. King can't take because bishop will take. King has to go to f1, and then queen h1 is simply mate, since the king can't come to g2. So this is mate. Okay, this one's a common pattern, so if you haven't seen it, try and practice the bishop and rook pattern. Essentially, the bishop and rook team up so that they can take this pawn, and the king can come to a4, but in that position, we can give a check. The king comes to a5, and we can simply give mate with bishop to b6. And that's winning. Yep, let's go with that. Okay, here it's a similar pattern where the rook and king team up to checkmate. Here we can play g4, look for checks. The king will have to move up. There we can take this pawn, and that will actually be mate. Okay, so this one, we look for checks. The best check I see is this. Bishop to e3 attacks the king, and the king has no escape. So this is simply mate. Okay, again, so here we look for any checks. I see rook h1, king takes, rook g3, pawn takes. Then I see, oh wait, I can do queen d8. Now king comes to g7, I have queen h8, and that's mate. Okay, this is slightly different. There's no checkmate. Any checks you give to the king will take. check, the king will take. So here, I think the only viable solution is to push the pawn and make a queen. And if we do that, they can give a check, but we can safely hide on g7. And even if they push their pawn, we're just too quick. So we just push the pawn, come to g7. If we come to 8-7, that would be a mistake. They would simply take this pawn. And if we block, that would also be a mistake, since then we lose sight of our pawn. So then they'll play something like queen d7 there. And we might not be winning as easily. So we just go king g7 here. And push the pawn. And we go here. Okay. So this is similar to just a mate in 2 puzzle. So we look for checks, captures, threats. We see a check. We can attack the king. King comes to h2 and we give a mate. Okay, so this one again checks. So the first check I see is bishop to g5. Attack the king, and the king has no escape. So I go through some of these a little faster now. This is just simply checkmate. Now again, this would be mate, since, okay, the way I see this straight away is obviously pattern recognition, but what I see is the rook is defending the bishop. All I need to do, the rook is defending all the squares of the king. All I need to do is give a check. What's a check? This is a check. Don't give a check with the rook, because then the king will take the bishop. Okay, this one's not as obvious because I haven't solved it yet. Okay, so for these ones, we look at the material count to see what we're playing with. So what I see with the material, 2 bishops, and we're down in exchange. An exchange meaning, we have a rook for 2 pieces, and we have equal pawns. So if we can win some pieces here, we should be good. So we look for checks. There's no good checks. If we give a check with the bishop, knight takes, not great. So then we look for captures. What captures do we have? We can take this pawn, but the knight takes. We can take this bishop. Now that seems promising. Take the bishop, pawn takes. Then we have a check. Now in that position, the king has to move. If it comes here, we win the rook for free. And if it comes here, now we go rook d1 and take the rook, since there's 2 attackers. So we can take, give a check, and give a check. Okay, so this one is a mate. So we have to see that, okay, this is slightly trickier. We look for checks. Immediately we see this is a check, but the king goes to h8. So what can we do there? Then we should notice the rook opens up a front on the rook. They will have to take with the knight. Then we can give queen e8 check. The bishop is forced back and we can take it, and that's mate. So check, and they resign there. Okay, this one we're down a ton of material, so we have to checkmate immediately. We look for checks. I see this rook check, but the king comes up. That's not good. Then I see this rook check, and it's just simply mate. Okay, bishop takes here. Let me take a sip of water. I wasn't a sip. I was not a sip. Alright, for this one's slightly trickier to newer players because they don't see pins. Now, we don't want to recapture this. This is a move I see a lot of beginners play. Oh, they took us, we're going to take them. That's one-way road to get checkmated. Now, what you want to see is this is a pin. Meaning, this pawn can't capture here. Meaning, we can take this pawn for free. Meaning, the king only has 1 square. Meaning, we have checkmate. Meaning, we play the move. Meaning, we drink all the water that's on earth. Alright. Now, okay, the move that comes to mind immediately, this one's harder because we have so many king moves and only one is right. Yeah. Now, the first move that comes to mind is actually attacking the rook, and the move that came to mind for me was king f4, but then rook e4, Then I can go king f5. And that's losing because then they go rook e1. I have to take the bishop. Oh, I don't have to take the bishop. I don't have to. This is hard though. I'm slightly stumped on this. Okay, let's think about it. So checks captures doesn't work here because we're under check, so we have to escape from the check. King f4 is the obvious move. But no, then you go rook f3. No, it's probably not right. I think we have to go towards the pawn. So I think we have to play rook, king d4. Check. King c4. They have no more checks. And yeah, we should be winning. And I think we have to go king d4. If we go king d5, it's not that they can give a check with the bishop. It's not that. I don't think it's that, because then we have king d4. I think the point is if we go king d5, they have rook b3. And if we take... No, that's also winning. I don't actually know this one, honestly. My only guess is we can't go this way with the king. Because if we go this way, then the rook cuts off the king. And they can... No, I don't know. What is this? King d4 is like intuition. But I actually can't explain this one. If king d6, what's wrong? Check. Oh, what am I saying? If king d6, the bishop can just run away. Yeah, we can't let the bishop run. And we can't play king f4. Okay, this one I got now. If we play any random king move, the bishop runs away and we can't promote. Yeah, so we have to attack the rook. We can't attack the rook this way because of this check. So we have to play king d4. It's the only move. Correct? Now I think king c3. Yeah, to prevent the bishop from escaping. But then the bishop can escape this way. So maybe not. So maybe it's king d5. But king d5, the bishop can come to d3. What a tough one for 22. Wait, so yeah, king d5, I think they go bishop d3. And I don't see a win there. King c3, bishop ace. Ah, there we can attack the bishop. I think that's the point. We can attack the bishop there. So I think it is king c3. And if they give another check... Here, check. here and we win. Because there we're attacking the bishop and we have contact on the rook. So I think it's king c3. Yep, and now we take. That's a really hard one, really hard one. Okay, in contrast, this is a lot easier. So I think with this one, you again just look for checks, captures, threats. So first check you should see is, okay, this doesn't work because knight takes. So then you see, okay, rook d7. Where can the king go to? The king can go to c5. I give another check, c7. Now I'm gonna hit the knight if they don't do anything. So then they go to d4 to defend the knight. But then I give another check on c4. The king has to drop back and we take the knight. So I think it's pretty simple. Check, check, and yeah, they give up the knight. Okay, this one. Okay, so this one, I can't believe 22 was so hard. This one is like, okay. So here you have to be looking at every pin that exists. Now immediately, when you look for checks, you might think, okay, queen h2 doesn't work, queen takes, queen f1 doesn't take, knight takes. But what you have to be really curious of in your mind is what pins remain. If we take this rook, you might think knight can take, but there's another rook that's pinning this knight. So this is mate. Okay. Here this bishop is hanging. I don't understand. Free bishop. I think so. Okay, I think this is just simple case of checks, captures, threats. No checks, captures, yes, and it wins a piece. So I don't understand the point of this one. Yeah, I mean, it's just, I just win. I don't understand. How can this be 25 and the other one be 22? Okay, what is going on? Chess.com, you gotta sort something out. Okay, so again, we look for checks, captures, threats. And first check I saw was this, knight g6. Only issue is the king comes to g4 and there's no follow-up. We can repeat, but that doesn't do anything. So then I saw this check, knight f3. And knight f3 hits the king. If king g4, I see rook g5, and this is a classic mate. Rook hits the king, knight defends the rook, and the knight is defended by the king. Mate. Okay. So this one... Okay. So this one you have to be a bit attentive to what's going on. Now, your first instinct might be to give a check with the rook. But the king comes up. And there, I don't see anything. There's nothing we can do there. We can't take the rook, we can't do anything, we can't give a check, queen takes. So then I start thinking, what if I give a check with the queen? Well, now the queen has to take, otherwise it's hanging. So they take, we take back, check, the king has to move, then we take the rook, and we're up a rook. So this is a method of comparison to see which is better. Is it rook d1 or queen d1? And you simply see queen d1 is better. Okay, so similarly this is, okay. Oh, wow. Yeah, this is about recognizing all your pieces. First move I thought was right was this, and then I realized quickly there's a queen here, so that's not right. So checks didn't work, that check. Then I looked at another check, which is rook h7. On first glance it seems bad. King takes, and what do you have? Do you have queen h5? No, king goes g7. Then I saw there's a rook hiding on h1. So if I simply move the king in that position, rook h7, king h7, king g4, queen has to block on h2, rook takes h2, that's mate. So that is simply game. Okay, this one's an easy one. Actually, it's not an easy one, I take that back. It's easy, but it's not an easy one. So for this one, again, checks, captures, threats. And for these puzzles, you always want to look at the forcing moves. Straight away, I see we can take the rook. take the rook. If pawn takes, now I see we can just march the pawns up the board, so we can play b3 and a4, but we have to calculate. So rook b5, a b5, b3. Can they do anything? Yes, they can attempt to push these pawns, but not really. Because this pawn does a good job of stopping both of these, and this king is too far away, so we'll be able to promote. So after this, b3, let's say d5, a4, let's say take. The king is too far away from the pawn, so let's say d4 check. I go king e4, and the game is over. I will push the pawn, and they can't push theirs. b3, a4, take. It's over. Okay, this is a simple case of just looking at chess. I'm not going to go through this because this is 30 and they're giving maiden ones now. So chess.com, fix your website. Think about it. Think you're playing like Modern Warfare Zombies or something, and they gave wave 30. And wave 30 came with like a zombie with like a crowbar. And wave 29 was like a juggernaut. It doesn't make any sense. So this is just queen g1. You look for checks. That's mate. So yeah. Okay, this one is harder, I'll give that to them, but not absurdly hard. So, actually I'm still thinking about it, so it's not. Yeah, so you look for checks, and the first checks you see, first of all, we have equal material. That's one thing to keep in mind. First check, let me just make sure I'm recording. Yes, I am recording, thank God. Some of my videos have not been recording the past few days, and it's been infuriating me. I'm not going to say that word again. Alright. So first check I see is knight e to f3 check. If pawn takes, I would take the rook. Queen takes, and I give a check, and I take the queen, and I win. So this looks promising. The only issue I had with it is there's no issue with it. Yeah, it wins. I was considering the other knight move, but it doesn't work because pawn takes. Now if you give a check, I take with the queen. So you have to start with e takes, so the rook opens up. So you have to do knight e f3. Now you take the rook. Now you give a check. Now you take the queen. Okay. So this is a simple case of back rank anitis, which is a disease, which is caused by not making air for the king. And back rank anitis, we can exploit it by giving a check. Rook takes. Then we see we have two rooks. So we can give a check, rook takes, and then take. And that's simply mate. Now, again, no, this is not a case of back rank anitis, but okay, it's... what is this? Okay. I have to think for this one, I think. First of all, equal material. That's good to see. They have a pawn extra. But we have these weak light squares. So the first move are checks. The checks don't really do anything. They're kind of just for show. Next is captures. Does rook h2 work? Well, rook h2, king h2, queen h5, king g1. Bishop f3 wins. It does win. Okay, let's just see if the other moves win. Does bishop h3 win? No. So they can even go f4. This is all covered. And rook h2, this is all forced. Here is all forced. So it's the winning line. I actually didn't take this seriously, but yeah, it's just winning. King h2, queen h5, king g1, bishop f3, and there's no stopping queen h1, mate. And the way I see this is when the bishop is always on f3, you can't push the f pawn, so the queen is not available for defense. The rooks can never defend, and the knight can defend by playing knight e3, but it can't defend h1. So the move is rook h2. Okay, they play f3, but here we shouldn't panic, and I think we can just simply take the queen here. And if they take the bishop, we take. So I think just taking the queen is winning. Don't do a move like this because they'll take, so we just take the queen. Okay, is this a classic case of any Yeah, it is. Chess.com. No, it's not so simple. Okay. Huh. Oh. Oh, I see. Okay, I'll walk you through my thought process. First thing I thought was this check. Then I realized very quickly I'm losing here. Not good. Then I thought, okay, what can I do then? And then I realized, oh wait, I can just push the pawn. The rook can't take because it's pinned. And if the king takes the pawn, you have this check. And if the king goes back, we have the same pattern. Queen hits the king, defended by the bishop and its mate, Pythagoras. And if, yeah, that's the only thing they have. If they block, we just take. So we promote to a queen, by the way. Don't do any silly nonsense, promote to a rook. That would be very bad. They would actually give you a check and you would be mated. You have to promote to a queen. And a bishop doesn't work either. Okay, so this seems like a classic case of mate in 3. This is a bit too easy today, so okay, I'll just go through this one. Check, king has to move here. Check, king has to move here. And mate. So, yeah. Okay. I actually haven't seen them this easy in a very long time. Okay, this one is a nice one. So this is a tactical pattern I see because I've played a lot. There's a pattern where first you look for checks. Knight e2, only logical check. King goes to h1. You might say, there's nothing there. You might try knight g3, no, f takes. So knight e2, king h1. There's another check you have to consider, which is rook h2. You might say, wait, king h2. That's silly, you're giving up a rook. No, this is called, I actually forget the exact name of the mate. It's not Anastasia's. If you know, let me know in the comments below. It's got a name, but basically this rook will transfer here. It will be a checkmate because the knight guards these two squads, and the rook gets a check, so they'll block with the bishop, or we'll simply take it. So knight e2, king h1, rook takes h2, king takes h2, rook h8, bishop h6, rook takes h6 is mate. Okay, this one again is pretty easy, so I'll let you pause the video and try and solve it. Yeah. Okay, I think this is a classic case of thinking-itis. I don't know why I'm making up diseases. Okay. Okay, so the first thing we see is checks, captures, threats, no check. Captures, yes, we can take the bishop. But then knight takes, right? We can take the knight there. No. Taking the knight there, maybe they have knight c7, king d8, knight a7. Yes, we may be trapping the knight. We might not be. Either way, they have two pieces and they have a rook and a pawn for two pieces. Either way, it's not great. So we can play bishop g5. And once, okay, bishop g5. And once the knight lands on g5, there we can intermezzo before taking the knight, because the knight's not going anywhere, we're still attacking it. We can play the move c6. So there, if the knight moves back, we take the other knight for free. If they play knight f7, we'll just take. And if they play knight c7, we take. And that way we don't lose anything. So yeah, we take, and we play c6. And we take the knight. Okay, 38. Making good progress. This one, again, I'm looking for checks, captures, threats. So I'm going to lead you through this entire thought. I'm going to show you every move I'm calculating. So queen a1, no, just rook blocks. And we're getting mated, right? So we can't allow queen g7 mate. If we were to trade the queens, that would be amazing, because they would only have a rook and we have two rooks. So my intuition tells me we have to trade the queen somehow, but it doesn't seem obvious of how to. Now, okay, yeah, it doesn't seem obvious at all. Trade the queens or at least stop the checkmate. How do we stop the checkmate? One way to stop the checkmate would be to take this pawn. But doesn't seem easy when we have to do it via checks. Huh. This obviously doesn't work. Queen takes. Check. Just rook blocks. If we give a check, king takes. Oh, I'm silly. I don't take my own advice. Okay, so you do look for checks, captures, threats. Once the king takes, we open up another front for the rook. Now the rook can't block or take, and it will be mate. So once the check happens, they have to come back. We give another check. King comes here. This is mate. Queen c1, classic pattern. So rook c2, king c2, rook c8. Now that's the only move they have, so it's winning. Check, and that's mate. Okay, so again, checks, captures, threats. First move is rook h1 via the formula. If the king moves up, I'd be very happy to take the rook, and we'll be up in exchange there, which is pretty good. Yeah, we might even could insert a check as well. No, we can't. Then I would take. I'm losing my mind. This check, but they can block. Knight g1, and that's not great. So I think we have to flip the move order. This allows the block, so I think we have to take first. And upon taking, then we're threatening this and taking the rook. So maybe they can try rook e1 there, so that if we give a check, they can play king f2 and guard the rook, but then we give another check. And if they take, we take the rook. And there's no back rank because we have d7 square. And I don't think they have any other move. Take here. And then we can check. And if they bring the rook here, we give check. Here, check, take, and rook f1, picking up the rook. So we take, give a check. Wait, yeah, we give a check. We give another check. We take, and we take. 40, so none wrong so far. 2100 on the puzzle. And this one is simply check, 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 check. Yeah, it's mate. Okay, so the way I see this is looking again for checks. Straight away I see, okay, we can do rook d3 check. Okay, where can the king go? Okay, the king can go to f4 or e4. e4 looks harder to defend, so let's start with that. To go king e4, what can we do there? Oh, doesn't seem like we have anything there. After rook d3, king e4, it doesn't look like we have anything. So okay, let's discard it for the time being. Wait, this isn't as simple as I thought. Now, the next move I consider is captures, no good captures. Actually, no capture. We can't take anything here. And the next thing I consider is a check. So what check? Threat. What threats can I make? I can make this threat, rook a1, to threaten this, but then just king g2. Another threat is bringing the rook here to the d2 square. But I'm not convinced. I'm really not convinced by that. Check here, check here. Yeah, it's not winning. Another move I can try is rook d2 this way, threatening this check, check, check here, and that's fine for them. Aha, okay, I see the move. Wow. I think that's the move. Okay, I was thinking the move was f4 now, but no, that doesn't work either. Okay, this is slightly difficult. Maybe it's not to checkmate the king. What I just noticed is they have two pieces, so if we can win one of them, we would win the game, right? So now I'm thinking, wait, can't I just play rook d5 and just fork these pieces? And I think I would be correct, I can. If they give a check, I can go king h7, and one of these pieces will be won. Yep. I think it's just that simple. I think I just overthink it. It's not a word. Our only move. Now we take the knight. Okay. Again, checks captures threats. Here I see that black has like 19 more pieces than us. Oh no, not 19. Just one. One more piece than us. And yeah, checks captures threats. I see this check. King takes. And then I can go check. Doesn't seem promising. I also see the, okay. I was thinking about this check here, check. Bishop takes and taking the queen. Is that winning? I don't actually know. So if we go queen h8, king d7 is forced, rook d5. I think can also go queen d5. Yeah, queen d5 just throws a wrench in the plan. Is that what they say? It throws a wrench in the plan. Yeah, I think that's right. Tough one. The bishop is not playing. We have to do something quick. The quickest thing I see is, okay, we can threaten mate. No, but we're also getting mated a little bit. Like this isn't very clear. Queen h7, then they give a check. King e2, check. Not clear. Not clear. Yeah. So now I'm starting to think the move is to take. King takes. Queen h7. If king d6, we have a fork, so they can't do that. If king here to e6, maybe we take. They block, we give a check. They go back. They go back, we give a fork. They come forward, we give a check. Yeah, and that wins. So I think it's check, king takes, queen h7. Now, maybe they have this, king f6. Oh. Okay. Yeah, this is tough. Alright, 41's got me tripped up. Queen h8. Well, then we give a check and just take. So here, they have to come here. Doesn't win. Huh. If I had to go by intuition, I would say it's take, queen h7, king f6, and there's something there. But there isn't. There isn't anything there though. Oh, wait a second. Take, queen h4 first to stop king f6. No, that doesn't work either. Because then they go king f7. Queen h7, queen g7. That's a draw. Hope you guys are trying to solve this at home. I just yawned, so you don't hear what I said. I said, I hope you guys are trying to solve this here at home. And yes, that is what I said. Queen h4. Queen e6 even. Okay, you know what? Let's immediately disregard this. Like queen h4 type moves. Because I think they're just bishop b3. No, but bishop e3, king e2. The point is, if it's king e1, they have this mate. It's not even mate. They have king e2 there as well. So no immediate threat. Which makes me think more and more it's queen h7. As weird as that move is. And then they just escape with the pieces intact. Oh my god, how did I take so long for this? So easy. Oh my god, it's so easy. Oh my god. Okay, that's annoying me. It's queen h8. And how I got this is not by saying it's so easy, by actually calculating. Queen h8, if they go king f7, now we can even take and take. And the same thing if they go anywhere. And it's just obvious. For some reason I was considering rook d5 for some reason, but not the obvious check. I can just take it. And take. And just move this away, not to allow this fork. So come here. That was so easy. Okay, this is even easier. So this is a case of checks captures threats. I see bishop takes, but upon bishop takes, the king can just run away to a8, and if I go b7 check, they take the pawn, and I will be losing because I'm down a queen. Then I see I can take on c7 with the pawn. King a8 is forced, I make a queen. They have to block. They block, I take. They block, I take, and it's mate. So it's very simple. Okay, 43, almost there. Almost there. Okay, checks, captures, threats, and material count. Material count is equal. Absolutely equal. Now threats. Do we have any, threat captures. Do we have any captures? Yes, we do. I see this capture. It's a pretty good capture. We win a bishop. The only issue is they win our knight. Now in that position, can we threaten them in any way? Yeah, we can play the move f4, but then they give this... but then they could have given this check, I thought. But no, we take with the queen. So now this is pinned, and we simply win it. So we take, We play f4, and upon the discover check, we take with the queen. So that should win. So we'll play it. Take and f4, and we can take with the queen here. Not to allow pawn takes and losing our queen. 44 down, 44 up. Okay, this is a simple maiden 4. So the way I see this is, okay, let's investigate the checks. Okay, the first check I saw was actually the check. That is right, but let's go through the ones that are wrong. If I considered b5, I wouldn't. The king comes up, and I feel like I'm making space for the king. I like these pawns restricting the king beautifully upon this rank. So then the first check I saw was the one. Yeah, let's go through the wrong ones. I think rook c1's another option, but I think they're just king. Yeah, the king can run somewhere, like maybe back here. Check king d7. Check. No, that's winning. Oh, wait, sorry. If we go rook c1, they go rook c3. No, but that's mate. Oh, I did get it wrong at the first. Okay, that's actually a good... I thought it was queen e6. I thought it was simply queen e6. Because after queen e6, the only move I considered... No, I didn't even consider a move. I just thought it was winning. No, there they have this. Then we have a check. And then we win. Yeah. Queen e6 wins. I would have got it, but... Okay, rook c1? What's wrong with it, though? Ah, maybe king d5. Rook c5? King d4. And weirdly enough, I don't know if we're winning there. Check here. And yeah. You have no more good checks. And yeah, you're not winning. So queen e6 is obvious. They only have one move, which is to block with the rook. You see rook c1 pretty quick. And that's over. Game over. Game, set, match. Thanks for coming. Now, upon this move, and now we have to find something that wins. Here, simply we give a check with the pawn. The king has to come up. This would be a check. King has to come up. This would be a check. And mate. So check. Check. And mate. Okay. So how do we solve this one? So this is a pretty common tactic. The idea is, okay, I say this a lot. The idea is, okay, I think in the okay, I'm just thinking about how to explain it. So everything might not be okay, but I would just say okay. So knight e4 is the move that comes to mind. Let's think of the captures first. Bishop d2, there. Okay, knight can take on d2, and it escapes the mechanism of what we need. We look for captures after checks, and I see knight takes e4. You might say, wait, that blunders a queen. But I know from opening patterns I can take the queen back, and actually they can't come to e2 because this would be mate, so they have to take with the queen. I would simply take here. They would take with the king, and then we'll take. And if we do a material count, we take one knight, they take one queen. We take another knight, they take a bishop. We take the queen, they take a knight, we take a bishop. So in the end, this, and this piece will win, and they will win this, and this piece. So in the end, we're up a piece. So let's go for it. And if they block, now we have to somehow vacate this knight away. And the best way to vacate the knight also is not by bringing it back. You can see what it can capture, and it can simply capture the bishop, which we will trade. Okay, 46, almost there. And okay. So this one, don't be tempted by the exact same thing, because maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. Like knight takes here, they will take. And if we give a check, they have c6. Check here, take. Oh, wait, what? They have to block. Take, and then I take the rook. Wait a second. I think that is winning. Oh, the same motive does win. Okay, so we don't want to give this check because the knight can take. So we take, we win a knight, they win a queen. So they're up 9, we're up 3. Then we give check, they block. Then we take our 4th point. They take 3 more. So they're on 12, we're on 4. We take the pawn, we're on 5. They block with the queen because they have to. We take. Now we are on. What's 5 plus 9? 14. They take and then we take and we're up in material there. But if we take, they take, we give a check here, we take, can't they go queen d2? Or I guess the idea there is to play knight back to d5. And the point is very simple, actually. If they take, we take. They can retreat the bishop, but there we give another check and pick up the rook as well, and our knight has a safe escape. So I believe the move is knight d5, bishop, and now bishop b4 check, and now knight takes c6. It's the only logical move. And now they take, we take. Now we take the queen and take, and in the end we will be up some pawns. So we take, and 47 up. Alright, checks, captures, threats. Here the first check I see is this check, and I believe it wins. The king comes to g5, we take the rook with the other rook. That's winning. And if we give a check and they block, of course we take the rook, king takes, and it's a classic deflection. Then we take the bishop. And if we give a check and they go to g7, we just take it. I don't understand this puzzle. It seems very easy for this level. On chess.com, unfortunately your site has been a bit garbage as of late. No, I can't say that. No, but it has. Come on. Check, take. What? I can make a TikTok from this. Cocky chess player gets humbled. How's that wrong? Wait, let me think. What? Were we getting back ranked there? I wasn't actually paying attention. You're here. Check. Wait, why is it wrong? Okay, we obviously could have taken the bishop first and that would have been much better. But why was that wrong? Are we just not up too much material? Okay, I checked it after. But yeah, that was just a cocky chess player gets humbled clip. So for this one, I think rook h3 is obvious. Pawn take. I'm going to use the word obvious a bit lightly now. We take back with the rook. And they have to block in that situation. So maybe not. So maybe we take with the rook here. And if we take with the other rook, I see if they block, there's nothing we have. There's no good check. So we take with the rook first. They take back. And if they don't, they get mated, so they have to take. We take with the queen. Now they have to block. King g1 loses, so they have to block. And this is mate. So this is very simple. Check, check, and mate. 48. I should have paid attention to the other one. That's my bad. Okay. This one I think is going off the same theme as number 22, which I remember because it was so annoying. Where is it? Wait, I can't. Oh, there it is. Where we have to bring the rook all the way down to attack the bishop so that we can promote the pawns. If we push this straight away, this is check. Not good. If we play something like rook a6, this comes and yeah, there's nothing there. If we promote, they take, and if we push the pawn, they can even take. And yeah, if we trade there, they're going to be 3 pawns to the good and win the game. So we have to do something quick. The only move I see is rook d1, attack the bishop. If they give a check, we go king g7, attack the rook. Now, if the rook moves away, now just rook a1, and it's winning. Yep. Because we attack the bishop. If the bishop moves, then we will push the pawns to win. And if they try some defensive strat, it doesn't matter because we're too quick. We'll bring the rook back and promote. So I think rook d1 is the only move that wins. And on the check, we have to come to g7 to attack the rook. Yeah, I think that's correct. Check and king g7. And now same move they played, and now just rook a1 should win the game. Don't promote because they'll take with the bishop, and then they'll hunt down your pawn, and that's not winning at all. If anything, you might be on the losing end there. Like if you play b1, bishop takes b1, a rook takes b1, rook a4, stopping the pawn. You have to play rook a1, and then yeah, your rook is going to be stuck the whole time. It's just a draw. Yeah, nothing good there. So rook a1 has to be played. And yeah, we take. Last one, till 50. And if you guys want me to go from 50 to 60, also leave a like and leave a comment saying we want you to do this again. Continue on from where you left off, and I will do that. So, okay, here again we look for checks, captures, threats. Do I see any good check? Okay, I see one check here on a3, but the king simply goes to b1. Is there a follow-up check? I'm not seeing a good one. So I don't believe that is correct. Now, do I see another check? Okay, I see the knight can give a check. And if the queen takes, sure, we like that because we'll take back and we're up material. Now, if the knight takes, they have king b1 or king b2. Let's look at both. Now, king b1 or king b2. Possibly we have a check here on b5. And the point is pretty simple. If they take the knight, I want to play bishop d5, upon which I'm forking the king, and I'm just suck at drawing these arrows. Okay, knight a2, king b2, queen b5. If they take, we go bishop to d5. This is a fork, so that would win for us. Knight a2, king b1. Again, we give a check. If they escape to the corner, that's a bit annoying. Huh. So king b1 seems like the critical line. They can escape to the corner, right? Oh my god. Queen b4 is lost. I did not see the bishop. Okay, that is a unfortunate reality. Oh, this is not so simple then. Unfortunate reality. Nothing goes as planned in this accursed world. So what if we start with bishop d5 then? I think the issue is them taking on knight. Huh, what is this then? Okay, this one's got me stumped a little bit. Oh, it's so obvious. Okay. It's not obvious, but okay, you should see it. So I considered this check and I let it go because of king g1. But now that I'm seeing it, there we have bishop to d5 in that position. Now, if they take our knight, we simply give a check and mate. No, it's not mate. We give a check and we can take the queen, which in that position we'll have a rook. We have two pieces for a queen, which is better. And if we go queen h3, king b1, bishop d5, yeah, we're simply just threatening mate. So we're threatening this, and we're threatening the queen. The queen can't stop both. So I think that's the move here, and I think just bishop d5. They take, so now we can simply recapture, and we got to 50. Okay, so let me know here if you want me to go to 60, and I will make a video on that. So I will call it there for today. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys learned some things about how to solve these puzzles, and hope you guys learned not to be overconfident. Even though I got to this puzzle, I'm like, oh wow. I will have to have a look at it eventually, probably in the next one if I go back and do it. Let me just quickly tell you guys what was wrong with it. So if you rewind to the previous position, I'll just go through it, because I can't end on an L. It's against my personality. Check here. So we go rook d2, rook d7, rook d7, king g6. I give another check. They go rook f6, and I took the rook there. Ah, I took the rook, and then if I take the bishop, they move the king, right? But they're also threatening the move c5. Maybe c5 and d6 will come, and my pawns, those pawns will run. Okay, I get it. But okay, I shouldn't just have been overconfident there. So yeah, I'll see you guys all another day.